Courtney. Oh, Courtney.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the summer of our discontent, and now
it's
we're
a
in a heat wave.
cruel summer, leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer, because everything's fucking gone. Welcome to I'ma Let You Finish.
Do you know that, just FYI, the other day I read this article that the National Weather Service has now designated New York City as a subtropical region?
It's like, what does that even mean?
That means we might have pineapples.
Right. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't be mad at... You know, if we could grow pineapples, I would not be angry. Because I really do love... And a fresh pineapple right off the tree is amazing. Anyway, it's us, Courtney.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to let you finish.
Sorry. We're so isolated, we're dreaming about fruit now.
In partnership with Listening Party Podcast. Check us out. Check them out online. Listening Party... Is it .co? Presents.co? I believe it's Listening Party Presents.co.
Yeah, it's .com.
But you also can follow Listening Party on Instagram at Listening Party Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at I'm going to let you finish, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I will get to all of that at the end of the show. So here's how we're going to start this
blah,
out.
blah, blah.
Right?
Blah, blah, blah.
How about this?
Are we at stage 4?
Right.
Courtney, are you and I at phase 4, phase 3? Where are we? I don't even know where I am anymore.
Here's how we're going to start this out. Free Britney, fuck Kanye, and cancel culture is stupid as fuck. Okay, so Amy and I decided, because we both get up really early in the morning. Let's record
really
this.
Early in the morning.
Let's
like
record
the Gap
this.
Band. Like
right.
the Gap Band.
Let's record the show early in the morning. What the fuck were we thinking?
I know.
Well,
I woke up early in the morning, but one of my cats, who was clearly didn't get the memo, was like at 5:30 going, hi. And I'm like, come on, man. This is like, come on, cat. This is a good half an hour before we do this. So I got up, fed them, and then I went, I'm going back to sleep.
Well, I fell asleep during a Law & Order, because you know the Law & Order marathon comes on the Sundance Channel on Friday. And it used to stop at like 2 a.m. I fell asleep to Law & Order, and I woke up at like 5, and Law & Order was still on. I was like...
Isn't every day a Law & Order marathon? I mean, how do you tell
except for Mondays. I know the schedule,
oh, right.
except for
Monday.
Monday's the only day on no channel there's no Law & Order marathon.
Did you see that thing that our friend of the show and friend of our life, Tammy Faye Starlight, posted about Tainted Love by Soft Soap, but the hand claps replaced with the boom boom?
I did not see
Go on
that.
her site. It's replaced by the boom boom from Law & Order, so it's Tainted Love, boom boom. Oh, sorry. But I digress. Yeah. I'm trying to kill time because you know what I think about Britney, so go.
Well, no.
Go.
I said all I'm going to say about it. Free Britney, fuck Kanye.
Okay, here's my question.
Well,
Free her from what?
Yeah. Well,
I'm being serious. Free her from what?
Well, I'm
not being sarcastic.
Okay, no, I know. And here's the thing. I think it's a really weird situation. Because what we're seeing is this woman who is essentially, you know, her father came in to save her life, right? We saw that there was some bad shit going down. We all saw that there was bad shit going down. So they get this conservatorship, which, you know, takes control of her finances, all of her big decisions, her business decisions. Now, I do believe there's probably some mental illness there, right? But I also think it's dangerous for all of us to be speculating because we actually saw this person have essentially a nervous breakdown as a young woman in our faces. But that shit wasn't normal. Do you remember how it'd be like 50 photographers surrounding her car when she's getting coffee? She couldn't walk, and we literally saw somebody have a breakdown. But you also
because she's mentally ill.
Okay. But now what we're seeing is 12 years later, you're still under all of these sort of tight restrictions. Now, I'm not in a family. We're not in a family. We don't know what's happening. But if you can put somebody, if you're saying this person is mentally ill and they need us to make these decisions, then how is it okay to put them like in a bra top and have them standing on stage dancing for 10,000 plus screaming people. Like, I don't know any doctor who would tell you for your person who's suffering from some sort of a mental issue, you know what the answer is? Put them in something tight and put them on stage in front of screaming people. So
I'm sorry.
it's odd. But you're asking me what the Free Britney movement is about, and I am telling you. This is what the fans.
From what?
Well, this is what I'm telling you. The fans feel like this conservatorship is saying she can't make any decisions in her life, but then they're seeing her perform and going on world tours and in outfits and doing choreography. So the fans feel like Britney is speaking to them through her messages, right? Because they said there was one day, there's some guy who said he supposedly used to work with her, and he read some letter that he had that's supposedly from Britney, and it's making it sound like she's a prisoner. Then there was a little bit when they said that her drugs are wearing off. I don't know if you remember this last year before she got institutionalized for a little bit. She made a video where she seemed like the most lucid I've kind of seen her in a long time, but that could also have been like a manic episode. You don't know. But I remember her saying, I'm a Sagittarius. I want to be free. I don't feel like I'm free. I can't make any decisions.
Sorry.
And the fans were like, "What? Wait, what?"
Are any of the fans mental health experts? I'm being
then there's that. But then what happened last week is Britney Spears never really wears black, right? So the fans all said, Britney, if you're in trouble.
Oh, Jesus. Blink 3 times?
Wait. Post a picture tomorrow wearing something black. And the next day, she posted wearing a black blazer. And then that was it.
All right. Now I will rebut, and then we will move on.
Okay.
I think the girl has mental health issues
or
stress issues, which is fine. Seeing as how, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic, I have seen mental health issues up close and personal in family, extended family, whatever.
Yeah.
I do not think she's in physical danger. She may be doing well now because she has a conservatorship. Yes, parents exploit their children, but I'm not up. She's fine.
Right.
I mean, she's fine. I mean, there may be a reason she doesn't appear to be unhappy. You can be batshit crazy and still do your job, right?
True.
No, I mean, seriously, if you're you can be, if there were not batshit people, especially performers, if they weren't allowed to do their, so, I'm not trying to be dismissive, but, Free Britney.
No, well, the funny thing is, it's like, everything is like.
The fans, so a bunch of, 17-year-olds locked in their house,
Well, no, I think it's a lot of the older fans. Here's the thing. It is, I'm a Britney Spears fan, and there is a line where you can see it is different. It's just, even in the way she performs, it's really different.
She doesn't perform any. She's older.
But that's just it. Britney Spears is in her 30s. That is not older. There's something missing.
Started when you were 15.
She'd be hitting her prime. Come on,
if she could sing in the first place.
Yeah, but it wasn't about that. Even the dancing. There's something that's just different. It's different.
Because she's older and had 2 children, and she don't have to do it anymore.
No.
She's fine. I'm fine with Britney. Britney.
You're anti-women, so I can't.
No. Stop. I'm anti-woman.
Leo,
stop.
Honey, I knew that was my cunty Leo season dig.
No, at all. I just don't. I hope she's fine. In the scheme of things, I don't care about Britney Spears.
Honestly, neither do I. You know what I care about? All of us surviving this fucking pandemic. Wear a mask, people. Wear a mask. Britney Spears. How about, and all of the Free Britney people? She's fine. She's rich. They'll figure it out. And maybe the conservatorship is keeping her alive. Do you ever think about that? Maybe it's because we saw her in a bad way. Now, she is in court trying to get it changed, but I think a lot of stuff got delayed because of the pandemic. But she is in court trying to get out of this conservatorship. And I always say she does have a mother. Where's her mother in all of this?
Okay, well, All right, and I swear, she's fine. She's fine. She really is fine. She'll be okay, Courtney. She'll be okay.
She has to be because, listen, I need another Britney Spears record that's actually a good record.
Well,
I love a girl who cannot sing with questionable
There's
vocals.
So many of them,
No. But they don't all have a high production budget. You know what I mean?
Well,
you have to have the production budget to go with the questionable singing to really get people to be like, oh my God. If you're just up there with some of these other ones who just really can't sing, it's like, and this set looks cheap, you gotta go. I need the explosions, the things that does stuff.
Well, don't worry. There's not going to be any touring for another 2 years, so you won't have to worry about that.
I just told somebody that. They were like, oh, no, there's going to be touring in 2021. I was like, I think the touring is not going to really come back again until like fucking 2022, you know?
Until that. Anyway, Brittany, next. Yeah. Thank you, next. All right.
Free Britney.
All right, let me say about, I want to briefly, and I'm not trying to be like Debbie Downer realistic, because you know that I am like, we kind of talked about Kanye before. Here's my thing about Kanye. I have met Kanye. I have interviewed Kanye. He is a flaming fucking asshole, okay? And he really, truly is. It's one of the most, I wanted to punch him, and I interviewed him when the first record came out. His politics. You're
like the 14th person that has said that to me.
No,
everybody I know who's like, I interviewed him, and nobody came back and was like, it was such a great experience. Everybody I know was like, and this was all like first, second album, and everybody came back like it was the worst experience ever.
No, he goes above and beyond. Like musicians tend to be egomaniacs, which is fine. Rappers tend to be like I interviewed LL once, and his for the album Goat, and I was kind of like, Goat, huh? That's kind of greatest of all time, huh? That's kind of ballsy. And he goes, so what am I supposed to call it?
That's funny. That's funny as shit.
Right. Not bad. He's not bad. So that's pretty good. So listen, here's my thing about Kanye. Yeah, it's good, right? I know. LL's got jokes.
Shout out to Queen.
Yeah. I know. Farmers Boulevard. Here's the thing about Kanye. I mean, there are so many things that are problematic about him, but he is bipolar. Most bipolar, a lot of mentally ill people do not take their medication for various reasons, one of which is it makes them feel different. And they sit there and go, I don't feel like myself, not realizing that themselves is the mentally ill part. He's also a creative person. When you're in a manic phase, you're super creative, you're super energetic, blah, 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 blah. His politics obviously are appalling. He's clearly mentally ill. He's clearly, to me at this point, him being an asshole is separate. He's an asshole. There's tons of bipolar people who are not assholes. To me, and I understand why we're all doing it, to me it's like looking at the guy on the corner who screams about Jesus and aliens and going, he's a fucking idiot, I hate him. He's great. He's not well. You know, that's just it. He's not well. It happens to be in the public thing. So I don't pay attention to him anymore because I feel kind of bad for him, to be honest with you.
I honestly refuse to talk about him. I refuse to pay attention to him. I'm like, this election is really important with real consequences.
Yeah.
I'm not participating in the Kanye West show. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, done. Okay, thank you, next. Done. Done. All right, next. What do you got? You got a good lineup. What else? All right. Now you and I have been talking about. Or you said something else in the pitch. I forgot what it was.
No. But that was just all of that was just to say that's what's going on. We don't have to go into deep because I don't care about any of it. If I can be honest with you, you know what I care about? Wear a mask, everyone. This pandemic is not over. It's really bad everywhere in the country, and let's just try to get through this shit and come out of the other side a little smarter and all in one piece. That's what I care about. Kanye West.
You want to hear a really funny joke? Funny joke? Okay, so Dr. Fauci the other day threw up the first pitch, baseball match.
Oh my God, did you see how horrible that was?
No, listen, but here's the joke. The joke was, he threw this, so for people who didn't see it, he threw this, and he knows how to play baseball, and he said he was a shortstop, so he's used to throwing to first base. But whatever. So he threw this pitch, and it was like way off. And somebody joked, well, he said he doesn't want us to catch anything.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Right? And I was like,
do you see how pissed the
good.
people are that the Yankees invited Trump to throw out the first pitch in the Bronx?
Well, that's, yeah, and you know he's going to brag about it when he, they're smart. They invited him to do a first pitch when no one's going to be in the stand. So that the bleacher creatures don't start screaming at him.
You couldn't make this shit up. You just couldn't even make it up.
The bleacher creatures. And then meanwhile, after he gives his whole, mask, he goes out on the lawn with a bunch of little kids and nobody's wearing a mask. Not even a catcher's mask. Put on, everybody wear catcher's masks. Oh, God. What? I just, and that's all I got to say. I
would like to say some inspiring words to all of our listeners right now. We're doomed. Run to the panic room.
I think we should start doing our shows with masks on.
It's like we're doomed.
It's really ridiculous. I have all these fucking killer sneakers that I've bought over the, and I can't, I'm like, can they have some
all your
masks?
summer looks, you're like,
all my summer looks are gone.
You got all your summer looks, and you're looking at, a friend of mine said to me the other day, he's like, what's it going to be like when we all, get put on a look again to go somewhere? And I was like, oh, wow, right. I used to put on a look.
No, there's nothing.
And now my look is like, what flip-flops go with these sweatshorts as I go to the supermarket?
Really?
That's
really, exactly. No, I'm going to be teaching at home for one of my schools, and I'm like, well, I can't even impress them now with my fly kick collection and the big hoops, because that always wins over the kids.
Right.
When they go,
I'm sure. Right.
Look, she's old enough to be the white grandmother and white mother I never had, but she's got cool sneakers. I can't even.
And they're always new. You know what I mean? The kids notice that kind of shit. They notice it. It's those are fresh off the box.
Right, I'm going to literally have to do Zoom talks with my feet on the table so they can see how, but I will say one thing, and then I have I found out that I have no girl skills, because I haven't even done my toes, but I am oddly not hating my feet as much as I thought I would.
Oh, really?
Not looking at polish, but then again, I have gone nowhere.
Right. And so then there's that. It's like, it's funny how when the only place you're really going is your house, the things that you gave a fuck about before. Even though I have one friend who was like, she's been doing everything at 6 a.m. She got her beautician to open at 6 a.m. She got her waxing lady to open at 6 a.m. She's like the first one, and she just tips them generously. She's in there by herself. She's gotten all of her shit, to just open super early for her. She's in there alone.
I have realized how low maintenance I actually am. I really am. I'm like, all right, my toes aren't done. My hair, box dye, which has destroyed my hair. I don't care.
Did it fuck up your hair?
It dries out your hair. It really does, but that's okay. I have my hair in a ponytail, so life goes on.
Has the cut grown out?
Oh, I got my hair cut in January.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely grown out.
Yeah, but it's all right. It's a good cut. I have it on top of my head, It's but it's just really hilarious. I mean, I just am like, of my same dress should I wear today?
No, I just shaved my head. I had grown my hair out. I had all of this hair. I had all these plans. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Was that in honor of Brittany who shaved her head?
Well, the back of my head just was sweating one day too many earlier this week. And I was like, you know what? This is done. And, my birthday's next week. I'll be the big 5'3". The big 5'3". And I was like,
you'll be okay. You'll survive it.
Yeah, I don't care. I was never one of those people who freaked out about getting older. I always saw it as a blessing because, growing up in 70s, 80s New York, I had so many friends who didn't make it to a lot of those ages with me. So it was always a blessing to me,
Yeah, that's true. Oh.
And plus, my
Anyway.
birthday's in the summer. There's barbecues, except this year I can't do anything. And one friend was like, you should have a socially distant birthday gathering. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like, thank you for coming, yelling to my friend across the circle.
Really? Thank you for coming. Back the fuck up.
And, and I know some people have done them and have fun, but, all of my friends, like, even my circle, everybody's in different places. Like, some people are just still not even really leaving the house. Like, Bill has a whole outside huge courtyard, and he does not go in it. He just sits on his little terrace, like,
I don't blame him.
He's like, I'm not seeing anybody till November. Stephanie's not seeing anybody. So I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, I see an occasional person. Yeah. I ran into a friend of mine. She's a friend of mine, and she's a dog walker in the neighborhood, and that's how we became friends, because I would see her. And I ran into her the other day. We were both wearing masks. We both sat down someplace, and, but that was, it's weird. It's just it's showing us a lot about ourselves. It really is.
It really, really is. And it's all right. Okay, well, anyway. Okay. So your girl, Taylor Swift, released, she released an album.
Oh, yeah, because I hate women. Yeah. I'm never going to let you live that down.
Listen, here's the
I'm
thing.
never going to let you
it's just a little
homosexual.
Sometimes, bitch. Sometimes. That's actually not an inaccurate statement. I would just like to point out it's just Leo season. And in this time of pandemic and incessant horniness, this is one of those times.
Oh my God.
But what do you think? What do you think of this record?
All right. Here's the thing with Taylor Swift. And I'm saying this, there are certain artists where I acknowledge their talent, but they don't matter to me. And I'm not saying that to be mean. Mm-hmm. Beyonce is one of those artists. I know she's very, very talented, and I listen to her stuff, and I'm like, but she's not somebody where I'm like, she matters to me, not because she isn't good. Mary J. Blige matters to me.
Yeah.
She resonates with me in a way that Beyonce, for instance, has never resonated. Taylor Swift, I know she can write a song. I know she's talented. For many years, I was very put off with her. She was sort of like Michael Jordan. She had power to do something, and she chose to be kind of, her girl squad and, fighting with Katy Perry and just petty shit. And I hated her at award shows where she'd act like, I won the award. It's like, oh, come on, bitch. You're not the underdog here. It's the number one record in the country. And you're acting like you're shocked you won an AMA, which was pre-planned beforehand. Oh, my God, really? She just reminded me of, like, every girl in high school that you wanted to beat up. So this record, I'm like, it's lowercase letters, so that must mean it's serious folklore. It's lowercase letters. It's lowercase letters. And her tribute to Bell Hooks. And then the cover is like black and white. And it's a really good sounding record. Now, I am not a Bon Iver. Is that how you pronounce his name? Bon Iver. He's not somebody who, I know who he is. He's not somebody who's like, whatever. The National, whatever. I don't like the lead singer's voice. I don't know if this is the lead singer or whatever. No, I don't think it is the lead singer. I think it's a guy in the band. It's a really good sounding record. So far, I've listened to it. She doesn't sound like herself vocally, which may be a good thing because I don't think she's the greatest singer of all time. But it's good. I love the fact that everybody's scrambling to decipher the lyrics. I love the fact that everybody's pulling up these comparisons to 9 million people. Let her just make a record, Let her live.
Right.
But it is a good record. I'm surprised. I have never listened to one of her records all the way through. I think I like maybe 3 songs. It's certainly a fucking 180 because she established herself as uber pop. Because she's working with all those Swedish guys. I don't know. I mean, I know you love it. I don't know if this is going to appeal to her core audience, the kids, but I think it might appeal to those people who were with her when they were 15 and now are older. You know what I'm saying?
And when I listen, I'm not like you. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. Never, the first record I probably listened to all the way through was Lover. I did listen to that album.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you weren't there for, the transition, 1989.
No, well, I appreciated Shake It Off. You couldn't move, like there was nowhere you could turn and not hear that song, right?
You couldn't avoid it.
But yeah, but I've like you when I've would watch her on shows, and I'm like, wow, this girl really can't sing. You know, I was
or
never
dance.
really into it.
She would dance. Ugh.
But I find these records that she's making as an adult interesting, and to see how her voice is changing and what she's having to say. And listen, I also do get, because I worked for a management company where one of the rules for all of the artists was you don't talk about anything political or religion, nothing like that.
Right.
It was very like, this is what you do. We don't answer these questions. We're non-offensive to everyone. And, and that is a way to sell a lot of records you can. But then you notice even artists in that system always get to a certain place and a certain amount of power where they feel like they want to break free from that and use their voice.
Well, she had more autonomy as she got older.
Yes, absolutely. And leaving country, because country, when you're in country,
will not let you.
It's like if your opinion goes against, the audience who's your main audience, look at the chick, it definitely becomes the establishment will turn its back on you.
Right. No, I think, like I said, it's certainly a surprising record. I think it's coming. It's sort of like the Dua Lipa record in terms, though obviously stylistically night and day. It's coming at an interesting time where everybody is still in an introspective, small space. If she had made one of her huge pop albums, it might have been like, where am I supposed to dance to this? Where am I supposed to move to this?
Right.
So it's an interesting kind of, am I going to listen to it over and over and over again? No, but I am pleasantly surprised at how much I do like it.
Right, me
I
too.
never denied that she's talented. I mean, she's obviously talented.
No, your problem has never been about her talent. It's always just been the other shit around it.
Yeah, and it's also, to me, she was like talented among a lot of people who are talented. I think that there are women who are more talented and men. But I think she has had a sea change in a lot of ways. I mean, she's 31,
right.
She's a grown up now. And I think I wish she would drop some of the pettiness. She still comes off a little petty in her lyrics. But that said, I think it's a very interesting record. I mean, that's all I can say about it. I mean, it's not, not that I was waiting for a Britney Spears, the Freudian slip. Not that I was waiting for a Taylor Swift record, but if you had told me this was the record she was going to come up with, I'd be like, especially since the last album was like a Skittles made music.
Right.
It was like so fucking like.
But I did like that. You need to calm down.
Gay up, honey. There's not enough gay for anybody else. I can't see Todrick Hall on stage with her for this record. God. Yeah, whatever.
Please don't bring him up.
Well, the record I'm really digging, and then we promised ourselves we would go into our thing, but the record I have a question, and then I want to talk about
we have to talk about Leanne, and we have to talk about
Leanne.
the chicks.
Yeah, all right, so Leanne LaHavis, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's had a record out, I think, several years ago, and I always really liked it.
2012, it's called Is Your Love Big Enough? It was a great album.
Great record. And I was always really interested because, like you, I tend to kind of ears perk up for British black artists.
Right.
I'm like, okay. And she was on Nonesuch, which is sort of a boutique label. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. And like, she's on a label with like 12 people on the roster. This record, which is self-titled, stunning.
It's beautiful.
Stunning record. I mean, just like, if you're a fan of, go down the list, Erykah Badu, anyone, any kind of edgy, young woman, singer, songwriter. This is just a stunning, stunning record, and I hope at some point...
Performed beautifully.
Beautiful. I've seen her live. You ever seen her perform live?
I've never seen her live.
I saw her at Afropunk several years ago. She's really good live. I mean, she can perform, which is always a plus for a performer, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But the question I wanted to ask before we get into the chicks, okay. Was I napping when anyone asked for Akon or Black Eyed Peas to come back?
Wait.
I mean, really, seriously, was I napping? I know we've been in quarantine and we haven't, but I look up one day and I'm like, wait a minute, is that Akon? Wait a minute. Who is this? An old song? Are they playing like in a? Why would they?
And even worse than that, Black Eyed Peas came back, and Fergie didn't come back with them. I'm like, what were you busy doing that you didn't think you should come back?
Exactly.
And like,
where's your
did I miss the point where?
And was I napping when the other?
Even though remember they started without Fergie, so I can't act like they would need Fergie. But their biggest success came in that period. Yeah.
You remember when they were alternative?
Was it Joints and Jam?
Yeah, they were. Okay,
that was a great record.
It was. But I'm just like, was I napping when Thing 1 and Thing 2 decided to have a part in the group too? And do I need to hear you basically take a Lisa and Colt Jam song and destroy it? Is the Wyclef return far behind?
Lord.
I mean,
actually, he had
Florida coming in. Is Florida back in the cut, ready? I mean, come on.
Flo Rida's just making records that work overseas that sound like the same song that they all love at pool parties.
Right, and he can't tour. He can't tour the Benelux countries now, so he's fucked. But seriously, I just look, and it's funny. I thought about you because I saw these videos, and I was like, was there a petition online? Was there a change.org online to go, you know what we need right now? The voice of black mediocrity to come back. But anyway.
They are the voice of the people. They came to save us and to pull us out. All right, so let's talk about
somebody good. Let's talk about the chick. You have literally turned into a one-man street team for this record.
Because let me just tell you something, and I know you're over the Jack Antonoff moment of him making everybody's record.
No, he's good. He just tends to make them all sound the same, but that's fine. I love Babyface, and he tended to make everybody all sound the same too. I can't be
or like the Timbaland records or Jimmy, like they have their sound, right? We know who's doing it. But what I love about this record is, if you're going to come back after 14 years of not recording, have something to say, they do. Yeah. It doesn't have to be 46 songs. They picked 12 great songs and put together the sequencing of your body of work so that people put the record on and don't skip and play it through. And this is a play-through album for me. I think that Natalie Maine's singing is great. I think that
it's a revenge album too, for sure.
I think all three women have been divorced, so they all are on that same vibe. And I just think the instrumentation is amazing, and I just love it. I love albums where the people wrote the lyrics and played the instruments. You sing something differently when you wrote those words, as opposed to having 6 writers in a room writing a song for you.
Their musicianship has never been in question.
Right.
These women, that's to me, that to me was always what stood out about them. They were clearly, they're incredibly skilled musicians. They're great singers. They always had this great attitude, they didn't disappear because they did something artistically wrong. They were punished by country music.
Right.
And the thing is, things have come around to the point now that they are right at the perfect moment for what's happening. I just think, she's a great singer. I mean, they're all great singers, and I love a fiddle.
So do I, and a 3-part harmony. And they have great 3-part harmonies. They really do.
Love it. So I'm very happy to see them back. It's sort of funny that it took them this long to figure out that Dixie's offensive, but I'm not mad at that because whatever. But the thing is that their hearts and their minds have always been in the right place. They've always been, the alternative to mainstream country, and yet got mainstream country support because they were that good.
Yeah.
I mean, they were that country music at its heart is like musicianship up the yin.
Oh.
Those Nashville session players are like the best in the world. You know,
It's
they
all
really
about
are.
musicianship. That's why we're doing this call. It's not even 10 a.m. And being able to write a storytelling.
No, they're great. It's
even their novelty songs tell a story. You know what I mean? Country music, that is listen, you don't get to skate through on country. You need to really be able to sing and or really write, you know?
Real country, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've told you that, I've said this quote before, but Ice-T once said the country music and hip-hop were the only verse where the artists sing about shooting people, or sing about guns and cars and show up to award shows with hats.
Right. It's true.
But no, it's a really good record. It's good to see them have their moment and come back and be triumphant. I think they don't need country music radio anymore, though they might get it. I don't think they're at a point now where they need it, because they've always had the support. They've always been, you know, are they going to sell a gazillion copies? Probably not, but they've always had integrity and the support of people, and I think that's really super important, you know?
Yeah, their fans did, some fans left, but the majority of their fans did not leave them.
Yeah. I mean, the fucking loudmouth redneck ones did. And you know what? Fuck them. They were there probably for the wrong reasons to begin with, to be honest with you. You know, no, I mean, they were probably there like, oh, they're girls and they're hot, you know, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm very happy for them. I'm very happy that they've are making a smart pop record with country flourishes. So you brought up something, talking about that sense of what you can hear when someone sings their own songs.
Yeah.
And so we've been teasing this, like, it's taken us as long to get to this topic as it did to get our COVID test results back.
I mean, longer 7 days. I know 7 days.
Dead or infected the world.
You know, by day 6, by day 6, I was like, they're not telling me because I'm dying and they don't want me to know.
Right.
I'm like, why? My mind was all the way there. I was like, no, this is it. They're waiting, and they're going to knock on my door. There's going to be somebody with a hazmat suit saying, you have it, you have to leave right now.
Go.
And so I had a plan. I was like, all right, you're going to grab the Grace Jones vinyl, and you're going to take your beads. And it was a whole plan.
Right. And that wooden straw of yours. Don't forget the wooden straw. Because you would only be able to swallow fluids.
It's bamboo. And I like my reusable bamboo straw.
No, it's beautiful.
It is helping to save the environment.
No. I'm just saying. The first time I saw it, I was like, "You don't strike me as a wooden straw person."
The first time you saw it, you looked at me like, "What? Wait, what's happened?"
I thought maybe it was licorice. I thought maybe you were drinking something through licorice, which I would approve of. Anyway, so let's get to covers. So here, I'm gonna break it down, and then I want you to come in and tell me everything I'm saying is wrong because I hate women. I'm never gonna let you release that one. Okay. Never. I'm gonna hold on to it like a dog with a pull cord. Okay. So to me, there's like a difference between an artist covering a song and a covers band. My idea, here's my criteria. If you're going to cover a song, if you're going to do something, and this is not talking about the Supremes singing somebody else's songs. That's not a cover. That's professional songwriters writing a song.
And everybody at Motown, basically if you look through the catalog, they're all saying the same songs.
Yeah, they all did. But to me, if you're going to do a cover of a song, then you have to do something to it, because otherwise I could listen to the original. Otis Redding wrote Respect, and when Aretha covered it, he said, allegedly, that girl done stole my song. Right. In a good way. Yeah. Dolly Parton and Whitney. The cover should be as iconic or as impactful as the original, because otherwise it's a covers band, which to me, a covers band is like Sunday, gospel brunch or jazz brunch. It's like
and what people don't realize, even like with I'll Always Love You, Dolly took that song to #1 twice, and then Whitney, has her global moment with it.
Right.
No, and I agree
Right.
with you. But there are weird exceptions to it too, right? Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. You have Patti LaBelle, who had "If You Ask Me To," and she had a modest R&B hit with it here in America.
Right.
Celine Dion comes with her version. The arrangement is exactly the same. They did not change the arrangement. They did not change the speed. And Celine has a worldwide hit with it.
Well, we know why that is. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Patti LaBelle is still a niche artist in a really messed up way. But and then you have a situation like in the very beginning, like the Stones and the Beatles. If you look at their very first records, like half of it or 3/4 of it are covers of like R&B songs, like the Isley. But that's because they didn't know how to write songs at that point.
And wasn't that also look at a lot of rock and roll beginning, the beginnings, like Chuck Berry and all of those, and Little Richard, and how the pop artists were taking their music and having big worldwide hits.
Right.
With like Elvis, everybody.
Yeah. And it was just sort of a way to ease into the market. You know, the Beatles would do because they were, a band doing sort of covers in a club, and then they eventually became songwriters. But for me, there's just like certain artists. I mean, we have on our Spotify 2 playlists of black artists who cover white artists and white artists who cover black artists. And to me, there've always been certain artists throughout the years who just have a knack. They're interpreters. I'm going to be fancy.
Yeah.
They're interpreters. And to me, Brian Ferry has always been spot on. He's got, he did like 3 or 4 covers albums, I think, and always has a cover. His last album, he covers Send in the Clowns, of all things. And Johnny and Mary, the Robert Palmer song. You know that song? And totally deconstructs it. And he's got those These Foolish Things, and he did a whole Dylan covers album. So to me, that is the key. Talking Heads. They took an Al Green song, totally changed it, right? There's no Take Me to the River, nothing the same, right? And actually that was a cover of a Phil Johnson song. The Bee Gees, Al Green covers the Bee Gees. Ray Charles used to always do country music covers, right? On all his a lot of his albums. That to me is the most interesting thing. The Isleys, what's the name of that Isleys record where it's all covers? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, what is the name
Bringing
of that?
Bringing It Back.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Brilliant covers. I mean, their version of Summer Breeze makes that song listenable to me. So, I mean, I know, who are some of the people that you so that to me is the interesting thing. When an artist takes a song and owns it in their own way, and you can hear that they're paying homage and respect to the song, but they're not just mimicking.
Well, to me, the master, really, who I don't think people really appreciate as much as they should for the musicality of it all, Grace Jones.
I knew you were going to say that, and you are dead on. You are spot on.
Grace Jones. What people don't realize is how many of the songs they love that she sings are covers. Breakdown. Yeah. Breakdown was Tom Petty? Tom Petty's Breakdown. Yeah. And I believe he wrote that extra third verse for her version of the song. He loved it.
Interesting. Wow.
Her version of Private Life, the Pretender's Private Life. Chrissy Hynde herself has said, the way Grace Jones did the song is the way I always wanted our version to sound.
Wow.
Her Use Me, her version of Bill Withers' Use Me. She flips that song's melody, and it is amazing. Her version of
La Vie en Rose.
The Hunter Gets Captured by the Game.
Right.
Bullshit. Right. Warm Leatherette. Like a lot of the songs that people love from Grace Pa are remakes, and she completely, even her first album was all show tunes. Remember, that's the album with Portfolio that has La Vie en Rose, that has Send in the Clown, Tomorrow. Wow. It was all disco versions of show tunes. And I think that she is the OG of taking a song that is famous and completely flipping it on their ear, especially during those Compass Point years when they were down recording down at the Compass Point studios, and just the magic with Sly and Robbie, and it's just the magic of taking a song and making it something else. And you know, and another OG to me is in 1972, LaBelle's one album on Warner Brothers. Well, I think they had two albums on Warner Brothers. Their debut and then Moonshadow. And
that's a great record.
Their remake of Cat Stevens' Moonshadow is 9 minutes of just vocal bliss. It is vocal bliss. And also on that album, they do a cover of The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again that is just so rocking and amazing, and just, that's how you take two songs known by rock artists of the 70s and three black women come in with their three-part harmonies and just make the songs their own. It's amazing stuff.
Well, look at, you know, their work with Laura Nyro on Gonna Take a Miracle.
I love that album. I
did the liner notes for the reissue, and it was one of my favorite. Yes. I was so excited because I remember the first time I heard that record, and I just, that record. So Gonna Take a Miracle.
I heard the bells.
Oh.
That's
so
good.
It's amazing.
It's
Everything
so good.
about it.
Yeah.
And so another cover song that I know we've discussed, and people don't realize that he's so his own that people don't realize he didn't write it, is Luther covering Leon Russell's Superstar.
Right.
And I love I love that version. I love Annie Lennox did a great covers record with Medusa.
Medusa. Her second solo album was all covers album.
Really great stuff. I love Paul Young. I have this thing for Paul Young. I don't know what it stems from. And he did a cover of Marvin Gaye's Wherever I Lay My House, It's My Home, he covered Joy Division, which is very tricky to do because Joy Division certainly doesn't lend it. I don't know. I think it's a great cover, but I know a lot of people, he does Love Will Tear Us Apart Again. And you know the BEF, the British Electronic Foundation records. Do you know those guys?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they're Heaven 17, right? So they've done a couple, and we will put them back up, but we've done in the past on the playlist. They comprise a whole bunch of people from Terence Trent D'Arby to Tejan to Tina Turner, to all these people doing covers. Right. You know, and it's just, again, it's like you were saying, they put their spin on it, because otherwise I could just listen to the goddamn song myself. Right. How about Whitney, I'm Every Woman?
I mean, when I remember when they first said it was going to happen, it's like, you can't touch that, Chuck. That's that's like her signature shit. You can't. Right. Like, you're coming for the big guns, and then she made it her own. And then there's some people of a certain generation who that's the version that they reference.
Isn't that funny? That's like crazy. the time thing. Yeah. Robert Palmer also, talking about Compass Point, Robert Palmer also, you know, and what I like is that they do these weird songs, like Man Smart, Woman Smart, you know, not like... Right. Have you ever heard Natalie Cole's version of Fiona's Criminal? No. Check it out. She takes a song which is very kind of dark and kind of perverse in a way, and turns it into like a jazzy pop song. It's really interesting, and you sit there and go, huh. That's the other thing about covers, too, and I think what you said with Grace Jones, you sit there and you go, huh, so this artist has got their ears open. They're hearing shit, you know, and that's always nice to hear that. Right. Someone who's, like, interested, and our girl Marianne Faithfull, right? Yeah. Doing covers. We love her. Who's somebody, okay, so... because we're being way too nice right now.
well, hold on. I want to talk about, because I do want to say also, like, people always forget about all of the people who covered Prince, right? And I'm talking about the early people. Like, if you go back to the 80s and check out Stephanie Mills' version of Prince's How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, it's really fucking amazing, you know what I mean? And she's got that voice, those vocals, and really one of my favorite Aretha Franklin was, just a vocal assassin. Like, you could not fuck with Aretha Franklin. James Carr had this song in 1967 called On the Dark End of the Street. It's about an affair.
The Dark End of the Street.
And then in 69, Lee Hazelwood and Ann Margaret do a version, which is odd and weird, but I'm fascinated with Ann Margaret, so anything that she does is like, okay.
Me too.
But then
I can watch Bye Bye Birdie every day.
But then in 1970 on Aretha's This Girl's in Love with You, as an album track, she does her version of The Dark End on the Street. And it's so good. And just those vocals, you know what I mean? That also has, I believe, This Girl's in Love with You also has her cover of Son of a Preacher Man. Because remember, Son of a Preacher Man was originally presented to Aretha, and she turned the song down, didn't want to do it. And then she heard Dusty's version and was like, oh.
Yes, I'm doing this song.
Then, of course, she comes, and, Dusty sings that song down into the ground. Then here comes Aretha with her version. And, she just knew how to stretch syllables and do certain things, and her version of that is just knockout as well. We are being too nice, though. So, one more to look
at. Say one thing.
Yeah.
We got to say Pet Shop Boys. Come on, the Pet Shop Boys covers.
Which covers?
You were always
always on my mind. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like when I think about that, just to me, because those aren't my favorite of their songs, I always forget that and that was such a huge record. And I feel like it was huge at the same time as Willie Nelson's Always on My Mind was big at country radio. They were almost like happening at the same time. No, listen, I could talk about them for 20 hours. Don't even get me started on Pet Shop Boys.
That's our dream. Our dream is just to be talking about them, and we're talking about them for so long with them.
Exactly.
And they walk in, and they say, we want to be your friends. And we say, we want to be everything to you. But you're being too kind. All right.
Well, I want to do a quick shout. I want to do a quick shout of 3 to the house music girls and the dance music girls who did amazing covers in the 80s that were hits and people should revisit. A Diva's version of Respect was a big hit, and you guys should literally.
Totally.
It was Otis's song. Aretha made it her own, and a Diva's version made it her own for her. Her version of Respect is really dope. Gwen Guthrie's 1986 version of the Carpenters' 1970 hit Close to You is amazing. And there's a 12-inch house version that's just so sexy and silky and amazing. And a big shout out to Sybil, who's...
Oh, my God, you're going in the crates, baby.
Whose 1987 remake of Don't Make Me Over... Dionne Warwick's 1963 hit, Don't Make Me Over, was a hit that nobody ever plays anymore, but was silky, amazing vocals, and it deserves a revisit. We're going to put up another list, and we will.
Yeah. No, this is, like I said, it's when these artists take these songs and you can't, and they just put their stamp on it. And it always helps if the artist taking the song can sing, too. That's always kind of helpful. All right, we're being too kind. May I say something? Well, we already trashed the Black Eyed Peas in terms of the cover. Oh, you know that there's someone out there.
So Will.i.am, such a smart dude. I mean, I'm not mad at them for still making music. It always just gets interesting to me that people who have made such good music, then they get to this period where just the music stops being as interesting, and it's like, it's always interesting that just for some people seems to disappear.
Yeah. There's some girl out there right now kind of using No More I Love Yous as the hook of her song, and that to me is sacrilege. Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, the actress, singer. Yeah.
Yes. And put actress in quotes when you say that. And singer. She's another one of those.
But I liked her. I saw her when she was in that first movie she did when she was young. It was the Western, and I liked it.
Oh, True Grit.
Yeah, that was good.
A cover record. She did a cover of a movie. All right. I have to just very briefly, and then you need to say something deliciously vicious. I am looking at an album called Kevin Rowland, My Beauty. Kevin Rowland was the lead singer for Dexy's Midnight Runners.
God.
Okay, I picked this up when I was in London a million years ago, and I grabbed it from a record label. There used to be these things called record labels, and they would give you free shit when you went there. And I grabbed it because on the cover is Kevin.
Isn't he like in a bra and panties?
Oh, no, not even a bra and panties. His dress is halfway down below his nipples. He's holding up the bottom. I have to find a picture of this. He's holding up the bottom of his dress so you can see his jock strap. He's wearing thigh-high black stockings, pierced ears, makeup, pearls, and he's staring at it's called My Beauty. All right, so it's all covers. He does The Greatest Love of All, Ragdoll, Daydream, Believer, This Guy's in Love with You, Long and Wide. You know what? And You'll Never Walk Alone.
It sounds like a gay acid trip.
Oh, my God.
It ends with You'll Never Walk Alone with the choir.
I know. Yeah, exactly. But what's really crazy about it, it's terrifying in a lot of ways, but yet it's somehow very compelling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's terrible. Oh, Tom Jones used to do good covers.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah. No, mine is...
say the one thing, and then, I'm sorry, no, go.
No, finish your sentence.
No, I was going to say, the true sign of when an artist is somewhat in decline, though, is when they do the Standards album.
That, or when they're like, I just feel like I'm in the mood to dance. Right. AKA my album before didn't do as well. So I'm returning you to the thing that you love about me. We're going to the dance floor, kid.
Right. To steal. I have alimony for 4 children to play. I haven't sold the record since Kiss from a Rose. I know. I'm going to do covers. Sorry. Sorry.
So the other covers, there's the one cover that I really love that you can't find, but you can find it online because it was never released. Janet Jackson did a cover of Sylvia's 1973 Pillow Talk that she recorded for the 92 sessions for her album Janet, and it didn't make the album. But if you look that up online, you know, her voice is perfect for that song because it's whispery
breathing.
And yeah,
breathing.
Exactly. And then we start going into the really bad ones. There's some that are just so horrible, but I love them.
Okay,
so
I need to sit back for this because I want to hear this. Go.
The first is LGBTQIA icon, and kids stop overusing the word, but this one is truly an icon to the goddess, Donna International, who shot to fame when she won the Eurovision contest in 1999 with her song Diva. She has a cover of Celie B's disco song Superman. You remember that song? Superman, man. Do it.
No, you were like doing obscure. You are like the king of obscure right now, and I bow before you.
And it's so random that she would remake this song, and it's so terrible, and I'm like, I can't stop playing this. It's terrible, and I love it. That, and my other one that's terrible, but I love it, is Shirley Bassey's Get the Party Started.
You are lying to me, Courtney Anderson.
Oh, there's a whole album. It's called Dame Shirley Bassey, Get the Party Started. I love it. It's mixes of her old songs done by current remixes and with her new vocals on some, plus her new versions of I Will Survive, which is sang in her very Shirley Bassey big voice to like a bossa nova clubby beat.
I'm laughing. Listen, I don't know whether I'm sweating with laughter or just sweating, but I'm dying right now.
Slave to the rhythm. That sounds exactly how you think it would sound.
Yeah,
just like that. And Get the Party Started. And there's a music video for Get the Party Started. And it's fabulous because it's Shirley. And it's like, you know, it's Get the Party Started on a Saturday night. And you're like, what is happening? I need this in my life, all of it. All of it right now. All of
Courtney,
it.
I'm a little disappointed that you didn't manage to bring a Sugar Babes reference into, considering that they covered Red Hot Chili Peppers under the bridge.
I do have a Sugar Babe reference. Thank you for asking. Patricia Koss has a song called AKA in English, When I'm Afraid of Everything. It's called like Quand je peux de tout. That's good. I know all the people who speak French are going to be reading like, what the fuck did you just say? And just know that I said, When I'm Afraid of Everything in French was redone in English by the Sugar Babes as Too Lost in You.
Oh.
Which people know from, in America, from Love Actually.
Oh, you were just pulling these things out of, I don't know what you're pulling them out of. Someplace. I love it. They're so obscure. What I love,
I'm pulling them out of the colors of my wind.
Yeah, I know, because you are the wind beneath my wings. My favorite thing about doing the playlist, other than everything, is Googling it, putting up your choices and going, where the fuck is this thing?
Right.
And then let me look under the artist. Let me look under the first spelling of the name. Let me look under the punctuation. I'm like, what is he doing to me?
You're always like, I can't find the Funky Funk box. I can't find that anywhere.
And then I spelled funky differently. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is.
I'm like, it's funky with two eyes.
Duh. Silly me. How did I not know that? All right. Any parting words, my friend? It's your birthday next week. Happy birthday to
Thank you. My parting words are, just stay safe, everybody. Stay safe. Like, this shit is really serious. We're living in a little bit of a bubble in New York because what you guys are going through in the rest of the country, we went through a couple of months ago, and we're just trying to not go back to the rest of that. So please stay safe, because we got a long road ahead, and we enjoy doing this show, and we'd actually like to leave our house and start making money again. So I need you to just wear a fucking mask. Thank you.
And don't listen, and if you live in a red state, don't listen to your governors. Listen to your doctors. No, seriously, listen to your doctors. Listen to the doctors, Dr. Seuss, Dr. Doolittle, Dr. Dre, I don't care. Listen to the doctors. Pay attention. If you haven't registered to vote yet, please register to vote.
Please register to vote. And remember, it's about local politics. All politics, if you're talking about changes in your community, in your state, are local. So those assembly seats, those city council seats, your mayor, your representative, you need to be fully invested in all of those races and making decisions for yourself and for your community. And fill out the census if you have not filled out the census.
Yeah, please do.
Go to listeningpartypresents.co and listen to us there. You can listen to all the other shows there. Follow us on our Facebook page at I'ma Let You Finish, all one word. Follow us on Instagram at I'ma Let You Finish NY. Follow us on Twitter at Finish Ima. Follow Listening Party Podcast on Instagram.
Stitcher too, right?
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're on Apple. We're on Stitcher. We're on Google. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Spotify. We're on the.
We'll come to your house. Give us a mask, and we'll come to your house and just talk to you for 45 minutes, right?
We will send you. Yes. Only thing you have to do is give us gimlets and joints, and we will be there.
Well, not me. I would like a churro and some form of snack. So Courtney will take that. I would kill for a churro right about now. I miss my churro, lady,
I want
so
a churro
much.
too. All right, deuces, kids. We'll see you in August.
Happy birthday, Courtney.
Thank you. Bye, kids.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.